Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install LED rings on your Radiomaster Boxer Crush. This is a really simple upgrade. You start by taking the battery cover off, and then you have to peel these rubber side grips off. You just get your finger underneath there and just kind of pop them off. And there's a little indentation here on the side. Grab that, just lift it up and pop it out. On the front of the radio, I'm using the protector to keep the gimbals from getting moved around during this process, and I'm using the battery to kind of prop it up and keep the radio level. After you remove the side covers, there's 4 screws, one here, and then the same 2 on the other side. We'll just take those out, and that'll let us take the back case off. Once you remove those 4 screws, you can lift that back cover straight off, and the next thing we'll need to do is release the screws on the gimbals. I've already removed a couple of mine, but there are 4 on each gimbal. One here, one down here, and one here. You just take these screws out, and once you've done that, you can set the gimbal off to the side. You don't need to take the wires off of the gimbal, and remember, since we're using the protector on the other side, the gimbal might feel like it's stuck in there just a little bit. You just lift it out carefully and it's fine. We'll do the same thing on this side, take the screw out, and then we'll be able to lift the gimbal right out. With the gimbals out, the next thing you'll do is assemble your LEDs to go in the radio. These are keyed, so they only fit one way. On the LED ring, there's a little notch, and that fits on the side with the opening right here. So you just kind of press that in very carefully and then seat that all the way around on that plastic spacer. It's kind of a diffuser is what it's actually doing. And you do want that to seat all the way in there, just like that. So it should be flush when you look at it from the top, all the way around. And now once you've done that, repeat the process for the second lead ring, and then we can install them in the radio. Now to install in the radio, you'll notice this open side, those go inboard. So there's 2 posts here and one here. The open circles go on those inboard posts. So you simply lay that LED diffuser ring right on top of those open posts and get it to seat flush against the case, just like that. And then we'll repeat the process on the other side. With the diffusers installed, just plug them into the headers marked LED on the main board, just like that. And just make sure you get your pin alignment right. So in this case, the slots are near the top, and over here the pins are at the top. So we just make sure we align that so that they go in together correctly. Then after that, you want to do a little wire management to make sure the wires don't get in the way of the gimbals and don't get pitched on anything. And after you've routed your wires and you're content they're not going to be pinched on anything, it's a simple matter to reinstall the gimbals. One note I'll make is that they include longer screws for the gimbals to account for those diffusers. So make sure you use those screws when you reinstall in the radio. So we'll simply pop the gimbals back in their homes, right there in the case. Press those down. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to get that screw in the hole. That's where a nice set of tweezers comes in handy. I use these ceramic tweezers. I'll include a link for these in the description. It's an affiliate link. I get them on Amazon. But if you'd like to get a set of these for your bench work, they're very handy to have. With your gimbals reinstalled, make sure you tuck your wires away so they don't get pinched when you put that case back on. That's very important. That would really make you unhappy if you had to go in and resplice wires because your case pinched them. And then before we button up, I always like to take the battery and just connect it to the radio really quickly and check and make sure that the upgrade works the way we intend it to work. So just connect the battery really quickly, flip the radio over. You have to take the protective cover off, and then press the power button. And there we go. We've got our LEDs, so that looks good. We'll turn it back off and then button it up. One last check of the wires to make sure I haven't pinched anything. You don't want to short anything out inside your radio. Just make sure all your wires are tucked away and not going to get pinched by anything that you put back together. I think that looks pretty good, so I'll set the back cover on the radio. We'll make sure that seat's in place, and then we'll screw it back on. To reinstall the rubber grips, there are a couple of little rubber posts in here. Make sure they line up with the case. And I like to start with the back side first. I put those little tabs in the slots and then make sure those posts settle into the case. And then once that's done, the rest of it just kind of slides together. And there we go, LED rings on the Radiomaster Boxer Crush.
Let's go fly something.
If you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos hit the channel. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy and go fly something.